Hello, my name is Susan
Hi.
Rose, and welcome to All About Artists. And today we welcome artist Jean Barron.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah,
How, how you doing, Susan?
hi. Before we start, Jean, I wanted to thank Dave Fabiano, Joanne Hurlbut, and Nicole Brown for making this show possible, because without them, we'd have no show. So thank you very much. Well, Jean, where do you live and work?
Um, I'm Houston-based. I have a home studio. That's basically where I do all my work. Apart from being like a resident at, local Houston artist, which I'm kind of like, taking a break from right now
Okay,
because I'm working on some large series works.
okay. What is your artistic background and how did you get into the arts?
Oh, God, I've been drawing since I was in high school. I always sat around and drew in class. Made stuff like band flyers, and wanted to
Oh,
start my own comic book. Did an album cover um, for a band. So basically, I've been into art or, you know, writing spoken word or poetry all my life. It's just recently, like a decade ago, that I started it as a profession.
well, I think your profession is very unique and it's wonderful. I
Thank you.
see you all the time. Jean, give us an overview of your work.
Um, Basically, my work is kind of like consists of trying to capture um, feel, not necessarily um, specific thought, but maybe like an overall feel and vibe. I want each piece to be like subjective to the viewer, yet somehow add like a collectiveness about, um, being human in it. Um, I jump from a lot of topics and even styles. I don't, though I do serious work, I don't necessarily try to dictate about like having like a very specific signature style. I just let the work develop as it comes, and let color, composition and all the things that come with abstract work, create um, a feeling that is personal to each viewer
Individual.
subjectively, and maybe have to dig a little bit subconsciously, dig deeper when viewing it.
Yeah,
You know, I think those are like probably the most important aspects in my work that
so
I,
of your work.
you know, try to do. I mean, in the end, it means something, it means everything, or it means nothing. It just depends on, how deep you want to dive in the pool, so to speak, this.
Well, what is your preferred medium and why?
Um, my mediums are, like I work in charcoal. I work in a lot of mediums, but my main medium is acrylics because I work fast, and there's a lot of adding and subtracting in my work. There's a lot of searching involved to where I'm going at the beginning, and once the piece starts to lead me, I don't have a lot of like drawing time. I just go at it, and um, I don't want to lose kind of like where I'm at on the piece and what it's trying to convey to me. So I try to get out of my own way. So I find that acrylics dry faster. And yeah, so my preferred medium is acrylics for that reason.
Yeah, oil wouldn't be very good for you because you work fast, so I can see why you like
Yeah,
acrylics.
yeah, and I've just, and though I do work fast, like once the piece is like conceptually down, I do take a lot of time to, detail, like I'll hang it and I'll add just, little things to it without trying to lose the organic feel of it, just kind of like bring it together, you know what I mean? Just like
I
little
know what you
marks and
mean.
stuff.
How did you develop your artistic skills?
Oh, my artistic skills. Um, well, um, I have a drawing and illustration foundation and just certain stuff that you know, okay at like from, back when I was, just doing like illustration work and trying to do street artwork and even like outsider art and and all kinds of stuff. How I developed um abstract contemporary work, it actually took me a while. Like I kind of went into it like everybody else does, thinking like, oh, hey, this should be easy. A child can do it and all this stuff. But
Not true.
it's like that old cliche. But um, once, like, once I got into abstract work, to be honest, like there wasn't like a lot of it that I was kind of into, but the stuff that I did find out was really cool, to me. And it essentially took me like a year to do something that I was like even remotely happy with. And you know, it grew from there. There was a lot of like reading, listening to lectures and looking at stuff I liked and why I liked it. And you know, um, just like reading books, um, especially this one book, it's called How to See. I forgot who the author was. I think it's David Del Bellotti. That book had a lot of ooh and ah moments in it, and as far as like how to see abstract work and what makes abstract work good. You know what I mean? And
I do. I like abstract work myself. Why is abstract contemporary art your style?
it became my I like the approach of starting something and then making trying to achieve like the impossible of making something out of nothing, and you know just going at it and letting go without just emotionally, I found like when I was drawing usually on a piece of paper, my I would tend to fill up the whole page with images and stuff like that, and they were always kind of like going all over the place. And so um, I found that that's kind of like I go, hey, I guess in a way I've always thought abstractly. So it's also deeply associated to me personally with music and just the way I feel subconsciously like I have like really profane thoughts. Like I'll be like in a McDonald's and I'll see like everybody in line just looking up at the menu and I look at the color and the noise and like thoughts about commerce or consumption or thoughts like that like come to me and I kind of like really can't verbalize them, and or just stuff like, like going on trips or whatever. I just try to capture, like the essential, looking at the colors and looking at the vibe and seeing how emotion relates with color. I just like the process a lot. It just became you know, the universe has uh, a form and a shape and a vibe, and it's, you know, beautiful and has a form, but it's got like fragmented patterns and chaos in it as well. And I think essentially abstract work has the same elements, if that makes any sense.
Does any of your work come from within and then onto the paper? I mean, like your emotions or how you're feeling, or is
Yes,
it more subconscious or both?
absolutely. Like I said, like the only time I don't think about art in, I guess, in one form or another is when I'm creating. I get out of my own way. You can learn all the theories, you can learn all the, process work and all that stuff, but um and you know, stare at a piece and try to apply those things. But once those things become like almost subconsciously and embedded in you, I think when you start creating, those things start to go away and you just kind of like, just stick to the work at hand. I like going at art with an almost organic, instinctive, you know, approach to it. And maybe you say, well, maybe I should, you know, let the fear dissolve and say, well, maybe I shouldn't do this, but you do it anyway, because that's where the, piece is leading you. It's almost like an antenna from yourself to, or maybe from something else to the canvas. And, it's kind of like get out of the way and just instinctively go at it and let all, your knowledge on, process get out of the way. You know what I mean? Because
Sure.
it's already in you. You know what I mean?
And
Kind of.
it just comes out there.
Yeah.
Maybe we could take a look at some of your artwork, I think.
Okay.
Could you explain this one?
Oh yeah, that's a piece called Rapture. And well, it just coincidentally this piece is kind of like to me what I was just talking about, like the unfolding of consciousness that you can sometimes feel when you're painting, the unfolding, learning about yourself, certain things, whether they're, good or bad, whether it's like reaching to become better or shadow work, um, this, that like that kind of like boom moment that you have in your head. I just wanted to capture that, and not just in art, but in life. As we grow and as we go through experiences and learn from them, or are, even harmed by them. It's just subjectively and dissolve. It's just kind of like that. That's another piece that kind of like touches base, with that, just in a different way. This is a contemporary piece. It's called Made. Kind of like the mob made, or even a maid who cleans up, like, it's maybe, I mean, it's subjective, and I always like to give the interpretation to the viewer, not give too much about it. But I mean, it's about American violence, guns, whether you're for or against it. just a thinker piece, how we, either glorify violence in this place, America or even in the world, and or how people fight head on for to keep their guns. A contemporary piece that
Okay.
touches base with. Um, this is a piece called Walking Home. I find this piece very calming, very serene. Walking home again can be very subjective. I did find like the almost like serene and dawn to it. Um, because I've lived, just like you, Susan, I've lived a colorful life, to put it lightly, and
Yeah.
find myself in a place in life right now where I have like growth and a little bit more peace than when I was in life, and kind of like approaching normal, I guess, whatever that is, in a way, and approaching peace, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to convey that in this piece. This is a song, I mean, this is a painting based on a song actually by Avandi. It's called Slow Parade. Um, it's it's a figurative piece. It's about walking alone with pride and all the in all your beauty and all your flaws. Just a subjective piece. This piece right here is called Hands of Time. It, I wanted to have like a rustic uh, feel to it. Having grown a little bit older, looking back in my life and going back to my hometown and seeing a lot of the people and a lot of the places and how they've changed, and just our ancestors that have passed and everything to come eventually comes and goes in the hands of time. Again, it's a subjective figurative piece. I like doing these um, figurative works. I kind of like jump around and do like series works, and this is part of a figurative, series I worked on. But once I feel like, I kind of like want to move on to a different subject or a different approach in art, I kind of like, you know, leave that series behind. This is just uh just a piece that it's a floral piece. It, it captures nature. I like nature a lot. Nature is a big influence in my art also. This is just like captures like the beauty of flowers, nature. Um, this is one of my favorite works. It's just an urban piece. Um, it's called Between Tides. I'm a huge people watcher. I like to see how they interact with each other, how they, you know, act in groups. I listen to a lot of music when I paint. Um, this piece was specifically, I think it was like more inspired, or this piece was inspired by a music festival that I attended in Chicago. But again, all the pieces are subjective to the viewer, and I, I just want people to have their own interpretation of what the piece is like. I like the use of color um, to capture the enemy. Essentially, my work consists of not trying to draw the cannon, but capture the boom. And that's kind of like my head and my heart. So like, it's like a Polaroid camera and like something in my heart that just records stuff everywhere I go.
Those are beautiful. In your opinion, Jean, what is the impact of art on society?
Oh, God, that's like a big question, a lot to unfold. Um, well, I mean, I think art has always been an essential part of the human experience. Like you had cavemen putting like their handprints on cave walls and like coming home to tell a story of how they killed a mammoth that day. It's progressing to you know, Rome, like, and art is like always been essential. It's been there to defy, it's been there to heal. It's, you know, been there to stand against, and it's just everywhere. Like people who say, "Oh, art isn't um
Oh,
essential," it's just like r r ridiculous to me because I mean, everything from, you know, most all the decor in your house to all the television shows you show to all the music you listen to, like how bland and just meaningless would life be without art? Is, I mean,
we have,
it's just
Jean, we have about 5 minutes, I mean, 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. So
okay.
I wanted to show quickly what Jean did on a book of mine on the back cover. And it came out really well. It's exactly what I wanted. It's a skeleton with a, and she's got roses all around her, and a heart that's broken, and it came out lovely. And I don't know if you can see this. There we go. That's a train going across the tracks, and right down here is the fellow, and my and over there is the broken heart. He did that. I commissioned him for these two pieces. He did a wonderful
It's a
job.
great book, and I just want to say, like, I think like all the work you do, and your books, and even just like this art blog is just a great example of what we were just talking about previously of how important art is. I read your book, and it's heavy and it's a harsh place that you come from, but look at all the great things that you do now, and like speak about mental health and your writing and your blogs. You just go at it, and I just think that's admirable.
Well, thank you for saying that. How can we get in touch with you so people
Um,
can buy your work, your website, your Instagram, or
well, my Instagram is just art by Gene Barron, GeneBarron. I'm also on Facebook. I am currently working with somebody who's building me a website. Um, I so just PM me.
on
I
Facebook?
will send you works available. I work with interior designers as well, which I don't mind doing, like to commission art for and opposite and stuff like that. I enjoy that work too. It kind of like helps develop a sense of like what complements each other and design. So just find me on Facebook or um Instagram. And, I'm kind of like working slowly on a big series. I spoke to somebody at a, really nice gallery in Dallas, but they want me to work on a big series. Like, you know, that's,
You've been in a lot of shows and you've sold a lot of work. Your work is very unique.
well, thank you. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah,
I appreciate
I've
it.
always loved your pieces. I remember when you
Thank you.
didn't do abstract, and then now that you do abstract, I was just like amazed how you went from one right to the other, and you did such a wonderful job with it.
Yeah, it's like, this is like anything. Like, I always tell my kid, because he wants to be in music, I'm just like, just pick a crayon out of the box, and then
Right,
just start working with that crayon, and then essentially you'll theoretically kind of like know how all the other crayons work. You know what I mean? And
I do.
I guess um um you know always having been into art kind of helped me
Yeah.
with
Yes, I know what you
understanding.
mean about the just pick one. That's what I used to
Yeah,
do.
just
I never even look at the colors. I used to pick a color out and start coloring there and just pick another one out
yeah,
of the box. And
yeah.
some, it kind of goes like that. I understand what you're talking about, Jean. Just pick one.
Yeah, just pick a color out of the box, and you'll once you learn how red works, you'll kind of get an idea how blue works, and then you kind of get an idea how, it
Well,
goes on.
Jean, we have about 53 seconds left. Is there anything you'd like to
Okay.
say?
Yeah, I just like to encourage everybody to keep creating, and whether you're established or just starting art, just know that creating within itself is a success, and if you want to make $1 million, or you want to be an underground artist or whatever you want to be, I guess you're going to show up differently. There's no right, there's no wrong. But what you believe about yourself and what you believe in general is important. Mhm. Keep at it.
Well, Jean, it was wonderful having you on, and I'm going to be saying goodbye right
Bye.
now. Bye, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan.
Peace.